We blinked and 12 weeks flew by. We are already entering week 13 of the college football season, the final of the regular season, and of course, it is rivalry week. Welcome to a Cruel Fan video. We are breaking down some of the biggest matchups that we've gotten this rivalry week, which are so important to the college football playoff. And then, of course, we're going to look at some coaching searches because 14 coaches have already been fired at the D1 level. That's unheard of. That's a new trend that I'm sure are making coaches all around the nation shake in their boots. I can't believe we've seen so many at this point, but here we are. Week 13 is so important, not just for your program, not just to win, but also because these coaches know that they are coaching for more than just a tally in the W column. They are coaching to keep their jobs. As I said, 14 coaches are already out of jobs. Most recently, we just saw Dan Mullen get fired. That was a huge one out of Florida. And that opens up three really big jobs in college football right now: Florida, LSU, and USC. Some of the others that I'll rattle off here that are not nearly as important, but also jobs for someone to take advantage of: Akron, Connecticut, FIU, Troy, UMass. And then the second tier jobs, which are pretty important: Virginia Tech, Washington, Washington State, and TCU. TCU supposedly already has their guy in SMU's head coach. We saw a school like Texas Tech take away a Baylor assistant. So there's already lots of talk going on about who's going to fill those other positions. Lots of hot names out there: James Franklin, Lane Kiffin, Bob Stoops, Dave Aranda, Luke Fickell. Tons of names are being dropped, especially for those USC, LSU, and Florida jobs. I'm interested to see what becomes available in the coming weeks. I would assume Arizona State will have an opening, maybe not just a head coach, but athletic director as well. And we're going to see some of these bigger programs that are fed up with losing also have changes. In the Big 12, there could be some changes. Iowa State, Matt Campbell was a really hot name before the season. I'm sure someone lures him away, even though the Cyclones didn't have the year they really wanted. TCU is probably going to take a Texas name. Gary Patterson, a head coach that's been in this college football for a very long time, will go somewhere as a head coach, probably not as a defensive coordinator. Virginia Tech, that was once a powerhouse in the ACC. That's a very intriguing spot. And while they haven't had success recently, you can bet your money right there that someone's going to come in and have a lot to work with right away. So lots of openings, 14 to be exact. I can't believe it. And I think that there are going to be a lot more because we're seeing more midseason firings and mid-season hirings. But all of this typically happens after rivalry week. So we still have more coming on the chop block. But let's talk about rivalry week. Let's get into the biggest matchups. There are two that jump out. Number one is Michigan versus Ohio State. Jim Harbaugh has never beat Ohio State since coming back to coach the Wolverines. This is the one he needs. Both teams have one loss. Whoever wins this one probably jumps the other. It's Ohio State staying where they are or Michigan jumping them and getting into the CFP. Of course, these two are likely to play in the Big Ten Conference Championship game, but Michigan can make things very interesting. Very, very interesting if they pull off an upset here. I don't know how you would deny Michigan a spot in the CFP. I don't know what would happen in the conference championship at that point if Ohio State, who had 2 losses at that point, went on to beat Michigan. I don't know who they would award a spot to. Maybe the Big Ten doesn't make it at all. It's just intriguing. It's being played in Ann Arbor. I still like Ohio State. Did you see what they did to Michigan State last week? Insane. The next game that's really important is Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. If Oklahoma wins this game in Stillwater, that will also be the conference championship game, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. But if the Cowboys pull off the upset, Baylor gets that spot, and it will be Oklahoma State, Baylor in the Big 12 championship game. That opens up a path for Oklahoma State to go to the CFP. If the first option happens, OK State, OU, whoever wins that game probably would have a shot at going to the CFP unless it was Oklahoma State, and then they would have 2 losses as well. It makes my mind hurt just to think about all this stuff. But those are the two very important games. You have the Iron Bowl. Maybe something happens there. If Alabama were to be upset by Auburn, sure. Lots on the line in a game like that. I'm also intrigued to watch Florida and FSU for bowl eligibility. I'm intrigued in watching Arizona State and Arizona to see if Herm Edwards is coaching for a job. there are tons of great games in rivalry week. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Mike Leach, Lane Kiffin. I can't wait. Can't believe the regular season is coming to an end, but I hope you enjoy.